Recognized Uncle Walker D01. Recognized Emily of Arden D12. Initiate comic commentary.
Hello team, welcome to Comic Commentary, tie-in issues 1 and 2. In this series we'll be reviewing the Young Justice tie-in comics that folded directly into the story arcs of the animated series. My name's Rich, and I'm here with my amazing co-host Emily.
Hi everybody. In Comic Commentary, we will be discussing how the tie-in comics relate to the YJ video game, the first 2 seasons of Young Justice, and the broader DC universe. Unlike our regular review episodes, we won't be having a Crashing the Mode segment, so consider this your spoiler warning. If
you'd like to get in touch with us, you can find us on Twitter at the YJ Files, on Facebook at Crashing the Mode, on our website, crashingthemode.com, on the yjfiles.tumblr.com, and at our email address, whelmedpodcast@gmail.com. And with all that out of the way, let's hand it back to Emily for...
Hello, Megan!
So today we are talking about issues 1 and 2, titled Haunted and Monkey Business. They were released on February 16th and March 16th, respectively, because sometimes the universe just likes to follow YJ's 16 motif. The timestamps for this issue are July 8th, and the episode tie-ins for this one is that it's set between Fireworks and Welcome to Happy Harbor.
The writers for this issue are Franco Orleani. I think I'm spelling that
sure.
right. I think I'm saying that right. I'm sure I spelled it right because I copied and pasted it into the outline. And Art Baltazar. The penciler was Mike Norton again. He also did the inking. Colors again by Alex Sinclair. And then the letterer for this two-parter was Travis Lanham again. Same team, I think, mostly except for the writers in the first issue.
Just in time for your next mission.
As with issue number 0, Haunted opens with a scene from the actual series. Just after Miss Martian is introduced to the group, it's established that Superboy will be living in the cave along with McGann. Batman tells Robin that they're leaving to return to Gotham, and the rest of the team heads out as well, leaving Superboy and McGann to pick out rooms in the cave.
McGann picks out one of the standard rooms while Superboy finds basically a closet that he's happier in. Then McGann and Martian Manhunter leave the cave as well, leaving Superboy and Red Tornado to reminisce about the cave and the history of the League. After Tornado zetas to the hall to retrieve some files to update the cave's outdated computers, Superboy is left alone. So he thinks.
Superboy then sees a teenager sprinting through the cave, saying that he needs to contact the Justice League. The teenager runs up to a bank of computers that weren't there a few minutes ago. Confused, Superboy tries to get the kid to talk to him, but creepy laughter echoes through the cave, followed by several green-fletched darts that knock the kid unconscious.
And in our final scene of Haunted, we find out that the Joker had followed the as-yet unnamed teenager into the cave, outing the League's secret base. He then knocks Superboy unconscious, which leads us to our establishing shot of the next issue, which is Monkey Business, where Martian Manhunter, Hawkman, and the Flash enter the cave to find a classic giant birthday box. Superboy and this mysterious teenager are tied up in a corner. They can see what's going on, but they can't do anything about it. Martian Manhunter drops that the teenager's name is Snapper Carr, as the three try to figure out what's going on. Batman arrives in time to warn the Flash not to open the present, but not in time to actually stop him from doing it. Because it's the Flash. He's too fast.
He's too fast. The present then explodes, revealing a dozen or more creepy green-tinged monkeys wearing purple backpacks. The backpacks release bombs containing Joker's gas as Batman frees Snapper and Superboy. The Flash collects some of the backpacks, but breathes in a lungful of the gas, and that knocks him out for a bit. Martian Manhunter then tries to enter Joker's mind to shut him down, but is dazed by coming in contact with his insanity. Snapper and Superboy both try to take down the Joker, but are knocked aside, with Superboy left bleeding from the mouth and very confused. Then the rest of the League arrives.
The founding Leaguers of Young Justice, apparently, we now know, includes Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Hawkman, Hawkwoman, The Flash, Green Arrow, Aquaman, Martian Manhunter, and the Hal Jordan Green Lantern. When the rest of the League arrives, Joker starts detonating the remaining backpacks, causing huge explosions. During the fight, Superboy notices that the Zetatube computer is scanning and announcing him, but not any other members of the League, which helps him to realize that none of this is actually real. He then slams the ground, creating a shockwave in the room that it ends the illusion because the genome that was in the room and projecting the illusion into Superboy's head becomes stunned by his shockwave.
The genome then projects some other images into Superboy's mind, telling him that it had been this particular genome who had taught Superboy some of the wonderful things about Earth culture, and who had projected images of him flying under the yellow sun. Basically, it missed him, and makes me cry.
Yeah. Red Tornado explains that the genome must have been reading the psychometric impressions left in the cave after that traumatic incident, and was sharing them with Superboy. He then returns the genome to Cadmus. In our last scene, Miss Martian asked Superboy if he learned anything about himself from the intense connection to the genome and the very realistic mental illusion. His response was, "Yes, I hate monkeys." Ba-dum-bum. There's a lot going on in this, actually. A lot more than I thought when I was originally reading through it as well. It plants some interesting seeds, yeah. Let's do this.
Superboy, are you alright?
I'm fine. Feeling the Aster.
I'll start. On a kind of a big picture front, this episode lays a lot of groundwork, introducing the idea of these intense, realistic mental illusions, how they work, how real they can seem. Of course, later on, we see all of this in Failsafe. It almost makes me wonder if Martian Manhunter got the idea from this incident, or maybe that's just a basic training exercise that they use on Mars. I don't know. I absolutely love this nod to Snapper Carr and that he really did have a connection to the League and Young Justice. We talked about him in Targets and Secrets episodes of Season 1, and he's also in the finale of Season 2. But yeah, and it ties into, in the series, when I think it's Robin was saying, bad guys know about this cave,
Yep.
But so we're basically hiding in plain sight kind of a thing. And it's Joker too. I don't know. It's just extra, I don't know, dangerous.
Super dangerous.
Yeah. And then Joker, he's so insane that Martian Manhunter gets knocked basically unconscious going into his mind.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot to process there.
That's amazing. Joker poisons and then blows up a bunch of innocent monkeys. That's messed up, man. And Superboy kicks one like a football because it's gonna blow up, and I'm getting it, it's gonna blow up, but poor monkey, jeez, yeah. Also, freaking Joker goes into the League's headquarters with a box of monkeys, and then he holds his own against 10 Leaguers. He is crazy.
Yeah. That's a pretty
crazy.
true assessment right there.
I don't even know what to say. The good representation of his insanity is him actually doing this and kind of pulling it off for a little while. I don't know. On a kind of a parallel side, though, I really like throughout the story, particularly when Miss Martian's there, Superboy keeps pulling a Batman and disappearing, which makes perfect sense, right? He doesn't talk very much. He's very fast. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. I think it's cute. Yeah.
I like it too. I think it's fun too. So my thoughts on this issue are a little less sprawling across all of the history of the Joker and Snapper Carr existing. Because when I first read this, I was like, this is a random weird teenager. Okay. Reading this again, I'm like, oh, it's their history teacher and he deals with the League. But yeah, this one's a little bit of a fun one. And my general stuff starts with reading this and opening to that first page is always it's one of those things where it's needlessly dramatic. If you look at the first page of this comic, it's Superboy looking shocked and confused, and then you turn the page and it's just him reacting to Miss Martian walking into the cave, and I'm like, why? Really? We felt we needed the most dramatic full page shot of Superboy to open this, but okay, sure. It makes me laugh more than anything else, but it also amuses me from that same scene that just as they're leaving the cave, Robin turns to Aqualad and makes the comment where he's like, so he's going to be living here the whole time with her in the cave? I don't think Kid Flash picked up on that, he's going to be jealous. And I'm just like, Robin knows what is up with these team dynamics from day one.
From not day one, like the first 5 seconds that they've met Miss Martian.
He's like, yeah, no, this is going to go great.
Yeah.
So that always amuses me, of course. And along those same lines, I'm reading this issue and it just amuses me that Connor and McGann live down the hall from each other. I want more scenes of them living in the cave together because it's always adorably awkward in early days of them living together. And I would pay DC so much money for just tie-in comics that are like, here's the first month of them living in the cave and how many times they like awkwardly ran into each other in the hall. I'm like, just DC, I will give you all the money. We know these happened. I just want them in comic book form.
That's great.
But as a little nod to things that are going to come up later in the season and the series of Young Justice, right when they first walk in and start picking out rooms, Miss Martian makes a comment about whether or not she can get TV reception inside the cave and inside her room. And it makes me smile because we're like, hey, we know what that means. So that was just a cute little nod of showing that they had everything planned.
Oh yeah,
very
everything
early
was ready
on.
to go, for sure.
Everything was planned. There's also in this issue, there's a cute little, not really cute, but there's a nice little League team parallel when Red Tornado is explaining to Connor that the League came together to face a crisis that none of them could handle on their own, just like the team did to save Superboy. And Connor puts it together, and Connor thinks it's nice. So I'm just sitting over here like, oh, that's real sweet.
But he's not Connor yet.
I can't break the habit of calling him Connor.
I keep having to put Superboy in the outlines because I keep wanting to type Connor, and it's not Connor
I refuse. Yet. He's Connor.
He's all Connor all the time.
He has always been Connor. He will always be Connor. It's fine. But this one, rereading this, there was one line that stood out to me, and I was like, I need to Google this real quick, because this sounds like a reference that I'm just not getting. And in this issue, somebody, somewhere along the lines, decided, hey, you know what would be great? If we have the Joker reference The Simpsons while attempting to stab someone. Somewhere along the line, somebody said, that's a great idea, and so it's here.
What was the line?
The Joker says, hey, you bent my Wookiee after his knife just doesn't stab Martian Manhunter.
What?
That's apparently a line from The Simpsons. I Googled it.
What was happening in The Simpsons that they weren't bent a knife, did they?
No, they bent an action figure, a Wookiee action figure.
Oh, gotcha. Interesting.
There you go. And so I just thought that was amusing. Like, wait, okay,
I know, that's
sure.
so funny. The internal references.
Finishing off this two-parter, the one thing I was like, wait, why didn't we just keep this genome as a pet? I feel we should have kept the genome. It was lonely and it missed its boy and just wanted to help. And I'm like, that's really adorable. That's really adorable.
Yeah.
It just missed him. It wasn't trying to do anything malicious. It was just attempting to communicate.
I think it would have definitely been funny if we'd had a little genome like pop up and like
just add it to Connor's just menagerie of pets.
Menagerie of pets, right? Exactly. It's Connor and his pets.
We got a sphere, we got a wolf, we got a genome. They just exist in the cave.
I love it.
And finally, as tying in this issue to the rest of the series, I realized when going back and rereading this, because this one does take place between Fireworks and Happy Harbor, this actually gives a really nice little insight and leads itself really well into the fact that Connor gets incredibly upset about psychic contact in Welcome to Happy Harbor. And like you can attribute that just to his entire history, but the fact that it is very fresh in his mind right now, because this happens right before that, I can see that playing in a little bit.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a lot of, like I said, it's a lot of like groundwork that's laid to set up some things if you were reading the comics and when they were being released at the same time that the series was coming out with all the psychic stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I'm not entirely convinced. Like his hatred of monkeys, I'm glad that they like addressed that. But I'm having a hard time being convinced of it this early. I don't know. Like by the second or third time he's fighting somebody who's a monkey or an ape, I can absolutely see it being grounded in. But yeah, I don't know. How do you feel about that?
Maybe there's some stuff with the genomes of just he hated being presented with images of monkeys. Maybe it's just an irrational hatred.
It may be.
Like, I could believe that coming from Connor, coming from anyone. I can just see people just being like, I just
Monkeys,
really,
they're weird and
really
creepy.
don't like that animal.
Also, clown monkeys, extra creepy. Evil exploding clown
True.
monkeys.
True.
It's not okay. So
Keep
yeah,
those
I get it.
far away.
Right. All right. Well, let's move on to a little artistic license.
Have all four sidekicks ever been in the same place at the same time?
Don't call us sidekicks.
In artistic license, we're going to be recommending some issues, miniseries, and graphic novels that we think that you'll enjoy, both from DC and other companies who have titles we think Young Justice fans will enjoy. Artistic license is designed to give you an on-ramp into the classic story arcs of the past, so that you might catch a glimpse of what's coming in the future. The ones that I picked for this episode are actually Brave and the Bold, number 28, and the Justice League of America, number 9. And Brave and the Bold number 28 was the first appearance of the original Justice League, which became the Justice League of America, which included Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, The Flash, Martian Manhunter, Aquaman, and the Hal Jordan Green Lantern. In the actual comics history, the villain that brought them together was Starro. But in Young Justice, Starro was apparently frozen in the Arctic for 1,000 years, which actually leads to some speculation. Like, who found it? Why did Starro get frozen? And honestly, did Vandal already know about it and what it could do? Because maybe he was there when it happened. Maybe he stopped Starro from mind controlling the entire planet because he wanted something different or better for the human race. I don't know. I'd be interested to find out, though. And in Justice League of America number 9, that was the first issue that showed us the Appalachians. Since Starro had been frozen in Young Justice history, at least on Earth-16, the first conflict to bring the League together was instead the Appalachians. Gardner Fox was the co-creator of both these classic Justice League villains, as well as a number of other cornerstone DC properties, such as Hawkman. He created The Flash. He created Dr. Fate. And he was the first to introduce the idea of a DC multiverse with the Flash of Two Worlds storyline in 1961 with Barry Allen and Jay Garrick. The show actually makes reference to Gardner Fox in season 2 when Impulse and Flash are facing down Neutron. The Flash rescues a bystander and says, "You'll find a shelter at the Gardner of Fox and Gardner," which I think is funny. Also, if you do read these comics, you'll see that in the cave and the table that they meet around, this is random. The table that the Justice League meets around actually has a Flash symbol lightning bolt on it for no apparent reason. Like, I don't know why the Flash's thing is on the table. But here's the funny bit. If you go back and watch Justice League, the animated series, when they get the Watchtower and they get this big table, Michael Rosenbaum as the Flash, he runs into the room and he's like, "Wow, look at the size of this table. I love it. I think I'm going to paint my symbol on it." And it's just like this weird throwaway line for 1 minute, and then it moves on to the rest of the show. But it's totally a nod to this really weird design aesthetic of having the Flash's symbol on it.
Nothing ever dies in comics.
Nothing, yeah.
If you make one weird choice, people are going to cling to it for years.
Right, when you call Green Arrow's sidekick Speedy instead of Kid Flash. It's never going to die. Anyway, we'll have links to the show in the show notes to find both of these classics on Comixology, actually. You can pick them up digitally for just $1.99 each, and you can read a little bit of the history that leads up to this. You'll also get to see Snapper Carr in his early incarnations as well. So with all that out of the way, then, I think we can wrap up this mission and head out of the Watchtower. The best way to support the show is to share it with a friend, of course. Thank you for everyone who has already done that. You can also support us with a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or your podcatcher of choice. Leaving a rating or review pushes us up in the search ranks and helps other people find the show.
Please continue to #BuyYJComics on Comixology. It's the perfect way to read the comics along with us while we review them. And don't forget to also buy the show somewhere online until the DC streaming service launches. You can also now use hashtag Young Justice Outsiders when talking about Season 3 online, and if you want to help us get more episodes, more Secret Origins, more actual play podcasts, and even more of all of that stuff, please consider supporting us through Patreon. For just a few dollars a month, you can help us do even more with the show while getting some great rewards for yourself. And remember,
Stay whelmed, everyone.
You've been listening to Whelmed, the Young Justice Files podcast. Our hosts are Rich Howard and Emily Booza. Our editor and producer is Neil Powell. Our theme was composed by Emily Mio. Our logo was created by Kevin Bates. Whelmed is a fan-made podcast and is not officially affiliated with DC Comics, DC Entertainment, Warner Brothers Animation, and any other owners of Young Justice or its related source material. As such, these companies have sole ownership of all symbols, images, names, logos, and proprietary material related to Young Justice. Original content of this podcast is ours under Creative Commons. Thanks for listening, and stay whelmed.